When Hitler died? Who again? Gaddafi, when he died, people celebrated his death. Saddam Hussein, when Saddam Hussein died, people celebrated their death, his death. The World Trade Center for September 11th. What's the person's name? Tazo? The World Trade Center.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden. When they killed him, people celebrated Osama bin Laden's death. But then here what black people should do. We should celebrate the Queen's death. You understand? We should celebrate and rejoice and be glad in it that the Queen has died. You understand? As the song sing, I'm ding dong, the witch is dead. You understand? Like we get a little ease off of the oppression. You understand? The oppression didn't stop, but we get a little ease off of it. We could breathe a little bit more easier now. Before, when that Queen was alive, you know, we stifling to breathe. Now that she died, we get a little ease. We could breathe a little bit easier. We should celebrate the Queen's death. All right, that is what we should do as black people. Nothing is wrong with that, because again, as I said before, when all them other people die, everybody celebrated their death. Hitler died. People celebrated his death because they say, oh, what Hitler did to them Jews and them. He was so evil. He was so cruel. Well, all right, no problem. But then what the Queen did to black people, her death, we should celebrate her death. We should mourn and be sad and be depressed now. We should be happy. We should rejoice that the Queen had died. When Osama bin Laden died, everybody rejoiced. Everybody said, no, look at what Osama bin Laden did to the World Trade Center. So much people died. I think that says 14 or 15 Trinidadians died from the World Trade Center. Everybody rejoiced. Osama bin Laden died. Yes, he died. Well, all right. For what the Queen did to them Native Indians and put them in them camps and force them to speak English and make them forget who they was as a race. Yeah, we should celebrate the Queen's death. We should do that. You understand? Nothing is wrong with doing that. And this, how the Queen died, it brings us another step closer in building up our kingdom of heaven. Like a lot of people don't know this, but slavery is in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Like, you personally might not want slavery. Somebody else personally might not want slavery. You understand? But if the Lord wants slavery in the kingdom of heaven, it will happen. It doesn't matter if you don't want it to happen, it will happen. And the Queen's death will bring black people one step closer to justice. And you know what is justice? Having them other races and them in slavery.
Slack, yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Tazo.
If I may, because people seem to be okay with this condition that we're in, black people in. And God is a just God. So when the tables turn now, right, and we have them now under subjection, and they working 9 to 5 and they struggling to pay whatever it is, you know what I mean? Whatever toll we put on them. Right? Nobody should have a problem with it. Because right now the elites and the people who are in charge, the East Indian, you understand, the white people and them, the Chinese people, they have the association, they have the communities, and they have no problem with black people in the condition we're in, and we're suffering. Right? So since, you know what I mean, they're minding the business and they're taking care of them, and they don't give a damn about the people that is continue to make their business run and prosper. Why it is we should feel that away, feel some type of way, and right now they ain't feeling no way. I would say that fear, man. That fear. You understand? So don't worry about it. All you understand, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, from our people that all they find that, you know, that we live in good and we should do better and pull up we by we own bootstraps, don't worry. When that time come, you know what I mean, just don't have nothing to say when we put them in slavery, right? The people who want to see, you understand, we the tables turn and all they fed up with how we live in, all they contact the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and the Commandant General Liana. You understand? 2905173. That is the Trinidad number again, 2905173. All they feel free to call in as well, you know, don't frighten, you know. You understand? We're looking for them who fed up. That we set up the kingdom of heaven. So the Lord can let, you understand, black people get at ease for once. Right? When last black people get at ease? We didn't have history in the schools and them. We started from slavery. So let me start a different picture then. Since that is the only thing we're supposed to know. And we have nothing to go back to. All that know that we have history before that, and who uncomfortable with that, let me flip the script now, right? Everybody else got in. Let me get a chance to rule now, right? What you say? All you call in, man. Don't frighten.
Yeah, all I call in. All I know the numbers to call in is 771-1791. That's the WhatsApp number.
Right.
All I know the number. It's at 342-0081.
That's right.
Let me celebrate the death of the Queen.
Correct.
Calling black people. Let me rejoice. Let
Yes,
me be
man.
glad. The Queen died. Black people get a little ease off.
Our oppressor dead.
You understand?
70 years she get to rule, and look at the madness happening to black people. She sit down eating grapes sit down eating fruits without chemicals. That's how the Queen and them living so long. Them sit down and they getting things from all different places and they work a day in their life. Right? But you have to pull up yourself by your own bootstraps. You have to go and fight it. But them ain't working no way. You understand? And join all the pain. And then on top of that, they're oppressing you. So call in a man. Call it a fight, no call.
Yeah, calling. Give me the
Girl.
Yeah, caller here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hello, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon. So
Yeah.
you are saying to us that the Queen have black people killing each other. You are saying that to me that the Queen have we in
That's right.
poverty.
Yes,
That's
that
right.
is true. Yes, the Queen have us killing each other. Because when you read the Bible, once you're under oppression, you're in hell. You know what is hell? Hell is a bad
So you're in
condition.
Correct.
So you in free.
No,
You're not free.
we are not free.
That's right.
If we was free, we have been ruling the land like how the Queen was ruling the land. Black people is not free.
Correct.
Black people don't
Oh,
even
that's
have a
when that
nation
free,
that we
that's when
own.
free.
Correct.
We living in other people's land.
Right.
Not even living in our own land.
Right.
Black people is not free.
Correct.
We are
What land is
oppressed. We
Correct.
still
What land is
suffering.
African
Right.
land?
Like
What land is
Gary
African land?
Griffith
Right.
could dare open his mouth and say the guns and drugs coming through the legal ports of entry, but it don't have enough police to police all of that. But black people in hell, because when the guns and drugs come in, the majority go in the black community.
That's right.
And
So you ain't-
we killing
so
each
you
other
ain't free
because
for her.
we have we live in a racist society
You are
Correct.
blaming Elizabeth
where the
for her
1%
bloodline.
and where the government don't care
You are
about black
blaming
people.
Elizabeth
Correct.
for her
They're allowing
bloodline.
the guns
Give her
and
a chance,
drugs
man.
to come
Give her a
in.
chance.
So black people could get the guns and drugs and shoot
Give her a
and
chance,
kill
man.
one another.
Right.
Blame the Queen for that.
Where Junior Sammy, where the Junior
But
Sammy
the man
Foundation for
transfer-
Lavantil? All that money you have, you understand? Where the Bagon Singh Foundation to raise back up the same ghettos and them. If we're struggling to buy a length of iron, to go and try to frame up all houses. Galvanized shed we living in still. What you telling me? What you telling me? What you telling me? What you mean? How you kill each other? You don't know what it like, you understand, to try and scrape and scrap for a piece of bread? To go and survive, you understand? So that we're talking so?
Why would you?
Eh,
Why
eh.
would you tell the court?
Where's the solution? Where you call it a complaint board? Where's the solution?
Yeah.
How you fixing black people problem? They call for that?
My solution, the Queen, what we saying about the Queen is wrong information. Wrong information. Because
Madness. Where's the solution? Where's the solution to fix the ghetto? Where it is?
You cannot blame the Queen for bloodline.
Yes, because you sit down there on top of doing nothing. You contributing to the demise of black people.
But
What you telling me?
Give her a chance. If a father and a grandmother do wrong, and she come and say, okay, countries have to get independent, and what she do good? By making
What you have all that power to do? You still ain't getting to the point, caller. You still have all that power. You sit down with all that money on top of there, and black people suffering, and you see it in front of your face. You don't care. You adding to it and molesting children on top of that.
Right.
Yeah, but
Because if she had already, okay, that what everybody like to say, she four parents did that. She didn't do that. Her four
What
parents
about
did
the
it.
Africans who in position, who is prime ministers, who serving the Queen as this, and who in the state? And
If them was free to do that,
what
exactly, that's my point. Exactly. If they was so free to do to fix black people problem, they'd do it. The Queen ain't saying I go put sanction on you. I ain't gonna support you, I ain't gonna do this. The Queen directly responsible for the demise and destruction of black people today. And the ghettos and them, all the laws and them would have make sure that we would not face them harsh crimes. You would have rehabilitation programs in place. Look at the prison. Where's the rehabilitation programs for them? Where it is the Queen and them sit down on top all that power and telling all your black leaders, do not give them nothing.
Yeah, look at what going on, because the Venezuelans is our brothers and sisters. They are Israelites to the Venezuelans, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we is one race, but white people taught us that we is different races.
Right.
Wow.
Look what the Queen did to Venezuela.
Divide and conquer.
Maduro
Right.
sent billions of dollars in the bank in England.
No.
Correct.
When Maduro went back to ask for his gold
He own thing.
in the bank of England, they deny him.
Right.
and they send Venezuela in hell
Right.
because of that.
Correct.
So who you gonna blame? Not the queen?
Oh.
Damn, that man is the queen to blame, man.
That's
the
right.
queen to blame for the oppression of black people.
My brother,
Correct.
cannot blame the queen for her
You
bloodline.
have to
You have to put the blame. You have to put the blame there.
You understand? The rich in
Correct.
You
society
cannot blame the
is
queen
what
for
has
her
make
father and her
black
grandmother.
people kill one another.
Correct.
Again, black people is poor people. Where we getting guns and drugs from?
Oh.
But black people,
Where we getting guns and drugs from? And we poor.
Oh.
But black people also
Yeah.
sell out black people.
Yeah. You know why black people are still out black people? Because the rich again.
Oh.
When the rich say, hey, hold a little $5,000 now. Do this for me, right? Do that for me. Eh? Where you feel going with in Tobago right now? With the PDP? Watson you can fairly. Some rich person get involved in that
Correct.
to make them fight against each other.
Correct.
Is a rich
Boy,
person.
brothers.
That is what going on right now.
Brothers.
Yeah. It's always the rich that's getting between in
My
black
brother,
people's
my
unity.
brother.
Correct.
Look how we're going
My
in
brother,
1920.
my
Black
brother,
people
I don't
had a
like
unity. We had black doctors, black schools, black hospitals,
Right.
black train stations,
Banks, everything.
black airports, black banks. We was prospering in the Great Depression
Right.
in 1920. You know who get in between and that?
So
White
what
people who
went
get
wrong?
jealous. They bomb up Black Wall Street.
Bomb it up.
And from there, black people, they started separate.
That's not fact,
There's
brother.
always another race to separate and divide black people.
So like
And
you
you
said,
say there's not the queen?
that is the truth, because here gone recently a personal experience of mine, and it's not the first time I see it. Somebody of the East Indian race, all they have to put other people in check. As soon as all they see black people doing something, you look in in a smart man way, put me against some next black man. Easy with all the divisive, you understand, nature. All they always doing that nonsense. Always. When you get opportunity, you have money, you have power. What is your reason for doing that? Why are you trying to do that? And you're in power. As soon as they can't get away, you start to do so and answer the thing, you know. You know, all of a sudden, I barely seen the person. And I'm glad to. All the too disgusting. Go ahead. Come here.
So before I go,
Yeah.
why other race does do more for black people than black people do for the own self? Or more for the own...
How we doing that, and we was under the oppressor for 400 years? Who we learn that from?
Oh, we mean, but being...
400 years you was under the so-called white man in slavery. Where we learn to do each other them thing from? He wasn't free, them was free.
No, remember, in 19... When it had the Americans, what year that was when it had the war?
Gosh.
Is it 1812, I think?
All right.
1812. I believe it had the war with America and the British, where it had the runaway slaves and them. And the British took them and tell the American runaway slaves, help us fight America. And if we win,
year was that?
all go be free black slaves and we go put all in Trinidad.
You remember
The
the
British
war?
lost the
year?
war. The British
Remember the year?
lost the war. Hold on. And they still put them in Trinidad as free slaves. You know where they put them? In Moruga. As free slaves. You could imagine what the white man was doing down here? The mindset them was saying, wait now, we's free black slaves. Look at them poor black slaves, they who still slaving. We better than them. We don't need to be around them black people. It's white people indoctrinate that in their mind. You could imagine slavery still going on in Trinidad and it had free black slaves. You can imagine what that caused amongst black people. Man, is the white man did that. Boy.
That's right.
Only the rich could do that amongst black people.
Correct.
You don't ever blame black people for crime. Put your foot like black on black crime. Yeah, what they're doing wrong. All them shooting, black people shooting one another. What they're doing is wrong. That is wrong. They should not do it.
Right.
I agree to that. But you have to understand what does make those people
That's
do that,
right.
boy.
That's right.
It's a systematic oppression.
Correct.
When black people get 10 different qualifications, you go in and work, you're overqualified, you can't get this work. Everywhere you go, you're overqualified. So then what's the purpose of going to school for?
Right.
So what do you want black people to do? So it's a systematic oppression against black people.
The queen is our system here.
The system come from the queen. Is the queen the queen system we are under?
Yeah, it's the queen system. Remember when we get independence in 1962? The queen was still underneath we, you know. Running here, you know. Then after they play the politics and say, the queen say, you know what? I will give all a republic. And all don't need me anymore. Willingly, the queen left. Now we not independent. The queen laws, constitution still exists in Trinidad.
Correct.
somebody dead, and I don't care what they do.
Yes, we have to celebrate the death
of the wicked,
of
correct.
the Queen.
Yeah.
Because when Osama bin Laden died, people celebrated Osama bin Laden's death.
Right.
You understand? When Gaddafi died, people celebrated his death.
Correct.
But don't talk about Hitler. When Hitler died, nearly half the damn population celebrated Hitler death. The September 11th with Osama bin Laden. The amount of people celebrated Osama bin Laden's death.
So like, sir,
nothing is wrong in celebrating the Queen's death.
Every year they still do it. America they still do it. I not hear nobody calling in and bashing them and saying white people should not celebrate the death, you understand, or the event, the vengeance that they get from the oppressors of them. The people that oppressed them and went against them, they just do it every year. Where's all the callings for that? All they was calling in to try and get black people to come against each other. And for we not to speak up for each other and to get the, you understand, people thinking the right way. So I understand, mustn't celebrate, you understand, if the person get put behind bars or they get justice. We mustn't get no justice at all. A little evil.
Again, next call.
Nah, man.
Let me answer this call.
Stop talking rubbish.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, hello?
Yes, good topic, man.
I'm right.
Good riddance. You know, because when you look from 1926, from the day of her birth to 2022, not one day that woman ever talk about reparations for African people. Nothing to give back to African people who they murdered and plundered and raped and killed over the centuries.
Oh.
That's right.
And then there are those who want us to feel sympathy for that. I can't feel that way because I know my history. I know what happened to my ancestors, my forefathers, my parents, what they did to them, how they raped and murdered and plundered Africa and did all those atrocities. You know the meaning of this Commonwealth business that they brought out to have we competing against each other in sports. They are saying that your wealth is our wealth, and our wealth is our wealth.
That's right.
That is exactly what they do.
Correct.
Yeah, that is what they say. Your wealth is our wealth, and our wealth is our wealth. Nothing for black people. And then here we are. There are those who taking the cue from these people and just against African people for no reason. We have never done the Indian community anything wrong, and they just hate and despise us for no reason. As they see, we're trying to aspire to something. When you go in government agencies and places around Trinidad where they are in the majority, you can hardly get any kind of service or assistance from these people. And it goes on and on every other way. My brother, I enjoy the topic, man.
Damn right.
Keep it up.
Yes, brother. Like and share. Damn right.
And that's in the Bible where all them other races confederate against us.
Conspire. That's right.
You understand? How we could oppress black people.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
Well, the last oppression is the worst one. The white man actually take away with history. Took away with language. We knows nothing. Like damn, why the Queen don't give me back with damn language? Say, hey, you know, all these Israelites, you know.
Right.
And all these X1Z, you know. Why the Queen don't do that?
Right.
The Queen just go along and play with her brothers and sisters. Who's the other white people who oppressed us.
Correct.
You understand? Damn all of them, man. We
right.
have to rejoice that the Queen is died.
Correct.
That she had died. Because I sure the Queen and all had rejoiced when Osama bin Laden had dead.
Right.
You understand? I am sure. My goodness, man. Give me the
Tell me.
Revelation where they say he that into captivity shall go into captivity.
15:9, right?
Yeah. Now slavery is in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? The kingdom of heaven is going to come when Christ returns and he cracked through the sky with 200 million black angels.
Right.
When Christ comes, he's going to kill. And the ones who survive Christ's death is going to be our slaves.
Correct.
Where down, Tazo?
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Now, if any man have an ear, let him hear. No, it doesn't literally mean if a man has ears. Right? Because it has some people like they can't hear. So it just means a man who has understanding.
Correct.
If a man has understanding, he will understand. Right?
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Them who had us in captivity, them going and go into captivity. That's what this Bible is saying here. And when you read the Bible, we are under captivity of all the races and them. The white race is just the worst captivity.
Correct.
Where he took away our language and our history and our culture, our identity. That is the worst captivity that we was under. So all them other races that had us in captivity, we go and had them as slaves. Them other races that had us as slaves, you understand? We go and had them as slaves.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. You understand? He like, I don't know what them white people and them did to us in slavery. You understand? Like I was reading up an article because he was trying to run away from slavery, or because he was rebelling in slavery. Them used to throw us in molasses. Molasses, when they used to make it, it used to be extremely hot. So it was hot. And they used to throw us in the molasses. You understand? They used to lynch us. Cut off your foot, cut off your tongue. Slavery was nothing nice, boy. Slavery was nothing nice. Them East Indians who came in Trinidad, them had it nice.
So like so,
yeah, go ahead.
On top of that, understand something. Understand the beast that you're dealing with. Here's one of the heinous things he ever did to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? He used to put a brown bag over the parents' head and have children and parents breeding like animals. That is truth. You understand? That is historically right.
Yeah.
That is what your queen did. And her 4 parents and them. No reparations, no apologies, nothing significant to show, you understand, that they have been sorry, because they don't apologize with words. You apologize with actions. You understand? And the next thing they used to do is something called breaking the buck. They used to bend over a man, a father, any man that would rebel and show, you understand, masculinity and strength and leadership and the proper way in front of all the slaves. What they used to do is take him and strip down his moral authority, so now they put everybody else in fear. So what they used to do is they used to bend him over backwards, right? Put him across a stump and pull him over like you're going to beat somebody. But they would actually rape the man in front of his family. They'd put his family front and center, line up everybody else, and put his family front and center right there to instill in the man, and especially in his woman, you understand? The young boy, the son, that if you do this, if you go against the slave master, any one of y'all feel all you have the capacity or the belly to go against the slave master, this is what will become of you. You understand? Bend you over and rape you. And then they used to have sometime they own slave master from the next plantation coming across, so that the word going to go wrong. So when the slave master go back there, they know they ain't doing that. Anybody can rebel, this is what go happen to you. And that is abomination according to God. On top of that, you're raping a man. So it's so much evil doing in there. Yes, sir, go ahead.
And on top of that, of course, you know that will cause a psychological effect on the man that he might grow up to become a homosexual.
Correct.
When the little boy see that, the boy go grow up to be a homosexual. So on top of forcing us to forget we culture and language and beating us and raping us, they forced homosexuality amongst black people during slavery. They forced raping. Like all them people who has been raping people all over the place, them is homosexuals. You know?
Correct.
It's only a homosexual would rape a woman. You know?
Correct.
Because a homosexual knows he can't be a woman. So he wants to make a woman cry. So all other women who have homosexual male friends, them is the same ones who's raping women. So I better be careful. Because only a homosexual would want to rape somebody. That is something that other psychologists would say. But it's facts. You understand? Or just better be careful. There's the kind of sick society we're growing up in. Because why? Because the damn queen.
Correct.
We need to celebrate the queen's death.
That's right.
You understand? We need to celebrate it. When you're asking all them first peoples, you know, the native Indians and them, you understand their history. And you know, like the other day we was by the first peoples and we be talking to them. You know, they say, well, they're going to church. And they know the church have nothing to do with them.
Right.
But they're still going there because they believe that one day the church would unleash all the history of the native Indians that they have hide away. You understand? So the queen and them have our history hide away. But they're not giving us our history. But Barakataya, why our shy, you know, for ISGB can command in Jerry Hanna, you know, he unleashed the mysteries of black, Hispanic, and Native Indians right in this Bible.
Correct. That's right.
The Venezuelans is our brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Why you feel them Venezuelans and them killing and robbing and doing all kind of prostitution?
Right.
Is because they are the same race as black people.
Correct.
Doesn't black people do the same thing too?
Correct.
Kill, rape, rob, be prostitutes. We just do the same thing as the Venezuelans. Because we are one race under an oppressive system.
Correct.
That forcing us to do these things. Like when our sister realized she done and out and she had no money. She can't, she tried everything to make money the right way. And she can't get it because this oppressive system. What she going to do? She going to sell she body. You understand? And on top of that now, the white race forced our sisters and teach them how not to be a mother or how not to be a wife to their husband. Vice versa, they forced the husband. They taught him how not to be a husband to his wife. So now the black marriage is just falling apart because we adapting white culture, and the black marriage is falling apart because of it now. The black man don't know how to be a husband to his wife. The black wife don't know how to be a wife to she husband. Because why? We listening to white culture and it's falling apart. Yeah, we need to celebrate the death of the queen, man. That queen did nothing to black people. If she was really sincere,
we provide opportunities for your money to make money.
She would have.
We all know saving is important, but saving alone won't get you to your financial goals. And let's face it, the bank doesn't have your best interest in mind. So this is your wake-up call. Do you have $1 million saved? Then contact us today. Spots Unlimited. Call 324-LENN. That's 324-LENN.
Right. Take this caller here.
Yes, my brother.
Yes.
Good evening. Well, celebration time. Celebration time because I'm going to tell you, they had the power, the Royal Air Force, Navy, everything, to handle anything. No Englishman is going to fight. If the Queen was in control of all the army out of when they had this war down in South America here, when they lick up the people, what's the name of the place, boy? Anyway, celebration time, you had all the borders say, hey, voter, do not interfere, the people go across here. Do not do so and so and so. But you sit there and did nothing. You smile, you skin your teeth, like Fred asked there. Yes. So celebration time, I'm agreeing with that.
That's
Celebration
right.
time, and yes, Paula.
I'm agreeing with that, and I hope Trinidad and Tobago understand that because they have us understand. She could have done anything and say, leave the people. Give them back the gold. Give them back the this. Do not take the people thing. But they wanted the plunder, the murder under her watch. Under her watch.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm saying celebration time.
Correct.
Celebration time.
That's right.
Thank you, caller.
I'm right.
I think I get our next caller here. Just one caller. Yeah, hello?
Good evening, brother.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
I am not no black race. I am the chosen blood. Yeah, if you was ashamed. As long as you go down the race hole with these people and them, this is how they speaking all the time. I ain't no race. I'm the chosen people of Jah, Rastafari.
All right, you go, lah.
Once you come back to what the Lord say to do, you understand? Well, I want to win the race. You understand? I want you to win the race too, brother. You know what I mean? So here you go on. As much as you believe whatever the case is, just come together with your people and do the work. That is what we're interested in. Whatever we believe later on, you go fix that. Anybody that want to do the work at the Most High and see black people rise, you understand? And you want to be, you understand, see the chosen people rise, just come. Let's come and fall in, you understand? Do it as you can do, because everybody else working against. They working tirelessly around the clock to make sure you don't rise. Guns and drugs coming in the community like clockwork. They have a schedule it on. And we are not scheduled for nothing. So let me get together and do what we have to do.
Yeah. I just still study that. Like, how could the commissioner of police saying he know where the guns and drugs coming from? It's coming from the legal ports of entry. But they don't have enough police to police the legal ports of entry. Well, what kind of statement is that? Is they allowing the guns and drugs to come in? So when they push it in the black community, what black people go do? We go rob and kill each other. We go rob and shoot each other because remember, black people don't know who their God is, you know. We feel our God is Mother Lakshmi or Krishna. But Mother Lakshmi and Krishna is not black people's God. That is Indians' God. You understand? Black people feel Allah is them God. But Allah is not black people's God. Allah is the Arabs and them God. The Arabs, that is them God. Leave them with them God. You understand? Black people feel Africa is our God, which is Horus and Cyrus. Horus and Cyrus have nothing to do with black people. That the Africans and them God, leave them with that God. That have nothing to do with black people. We feel Caesar Borgia, who's a white homosexual. We feel that is our God. Caesar Borgia. So we running to learn Christianity. You understand? We feel that is our God. But no, when they open up this Bible, the God in this Bible, he's a black masculine man.
That's right.
Who tells us not to be a homosexual. He tells us not a man mustn't put on woman clothes and a woman mustn't put on man clothes.
Right.
You understand? When you read this Bible, everybody was black. The prophets was black. Moses was black. The angels was black. We were so black when you read Acts chapter 13, they call us nigger. That in the Bible, Acts chapter 13, they call us nigger.
So like
you understand? Yeah, that's all.
Also, don't get kicks. You understand? Puerto Ricans is black people too. Joseph, who was in Egypt, you understand, is a Puerto Rican. And any Hispanic, habla español, you understand? Joseph is your forefather in La Biblia. You understand? Yeah. So understand that Hispanics is niggers too. Excuse me, French. You understand? It's Negroes too. Yeah. Native Indians, you follow? Gadites. You follow? Who was that? Was that Gadite in the Bible?
Just a second, give me the scripture before I forget.
Right.
13, before I feel.
Can on. Yeah, correct. Right. Damn right.
Before I feel I'm making it up. We're going to read it all here now. Acts chapter 13. When they call us nigger.
Right.
You understand? That in the Bible.
Correct. Ready for it?
You ain't going to hear this from no other way. But yeah, go ahead, Tazo.
The book of Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. Now they were in the church that was at Antioch. Certain prophets and teachers.
Right, prophets and teachers. Now you could only be a prophet if you come from Israel. You can't be an East Indian or a Chinese and say is a prophet of God. No, you could only be a prophet of God if you come from the nation of Israel. And Israel is a bloodline of people.
Right.
A bloodline of people. Right, so yeah, go ahead.
Prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon.
Right, so there was two prophets and teachers there, Barnabas and Simeon. Go ahead.
That was called Niger.
That was called what?
Niger.
Spell it where?
Niger.
Niger. Now they call us Niger, right? When you look up the meaning of the word Niger, it means black.
Right.
When you look up the word nigger, which is Nigger, it means black.
Right.
But also it says that it comes from the word Niger.
Right.
When you look up Niger, it says Niger comes from the word nigger, which means black. So they call us nigger in the Bible.
Right.
You understand? Black man, your God is the God of this Bible.
That's right.
Come in the ISU, you can learn who your God is, black man. The Venezuelans always part of the Israelites, always from the tribe of Asher. Come and learn who all your God is.
Right.
They call all a Negro. Negro means black too.
La Negra.
Yeah? They call the Native Indians and them black too. You understand? All come and learn who all your God is. The reason why it is when the rich give we guns and drugs to kill each other. The reason why it is we accepting the guns and drugs is because we do not know who our God is. We feel our God is Allah. We feel our God is Krishna or Buddha. That is who we feel our God is. We feel our God is Horus and Cyrus. That is why when they're bringing the guns and drugs in the black community, we accepting it and shooting one another. Look how they shoot this fella from, I forget which part it was, but the city boy from Claxton Bay. They shoot him off. He ball and feel life. They come back and finish him off. Black people. We don't know who our God is because the white man stripped away our God from us.
Right.
And then we should not celebrate the death of the Queen. We have to celebrate the death of the Queen. We must. Because that is the reason why black people killing one another and robbing one another. And why black people hate one another. You know, all I like to say black people can't come together. Blame the Queen.
That's right.
Blame the Queen.
Correct.
She knew that we are Israelites.
Correct.
But didn't want to tell you that we is Israelites. She just want to leave we and say, well, yeah, call ourselves Africans now, yeah. You want to join Islam, yeah, go ahead and join Islam, yeah, that ain't nothing. When she knew that we are Israelites.
Right.
You could imagine the Queen actually telling people, hey, what my foreparents, because that's what the person calling and say she foreparents. The Queen was supposed to say, black people, what my foreparents did tell her, they strip away all her history. And I, as Queen Elizabeth II, going to give all her back all her history. She didn't do that.
Right.
You understand? She actually added on to our oppression.
Correct.
She could have stopped the oppression, but no, she added on to it.
Right.
That's what the Queen did. Yeah,
So,
that's
okay,
how
so,
go ahead.
and the audacity of we, you understand? We come after our political system younger, you understand, than the woman, the amount of years this woman's on the throne. 70 years, nobody in change the power. The UNC in take his spot. We're quick to blame, you understand, the black leaders. The black leaders, they know nothing. And them still under her commission. They still under her power. So when they under she, it ain't one thing they go do, you understand, different. Because that is where them decide, you understand, to rock with. We decide to rock with the Most High Christ and Commandant General Yana. You understand? If you had some sense and you recognize that nobody else rocking with the Most High, and for black people, this is where you'll come. That is just why it is so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman. Put, you understand, you trust, you care back to your people and them. You learn how to do it inside of here. You follow? So that is what you need to do. You understand? Stop calling and looking to shift the blame. The blame at the end of the day is with the powers that be. The scriptures tell me that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The Lord say, you're gone. You want to listen to me? You're gone. But I might take my hands off. I coming out of that. I falling back. You do you. Whoever it is you experience, how they think, you on your own. Because you decide that my rules is too much. You understand? Righteousness is too much. Care, you understand? Being diligent and looking out for each other is too much. So you want to know why black people hating each other? Because we step away from the Most High. We come outside the Lord house, outside our daddy house, and we decide, well, we want to experience life. We want to go outside here and get burned. We pushing hand in stove, you understand? And all kind of different bad hole, all kind of madness. All kind of thing we want to try. You only want people on the earth, face of the earth is do that. Do what he want. That is the Queen and she family and them that look like she.
Yeah.
That is the only people on the earth is do that.
Yeah.
You want to learn how black people learn to do that? The only difference is they had the money. You understand? So they're making sure they keep that. They're making sure they keep you away from that. There are centers set up for people to go and smoke heroin and smoke coke and crack and all kind of madness. Yeah. They have a little place for you to not to kill each other.
Yeah.
And them doing drugs and we know drugs wrong.
Yeah.
And there's all kind of people that die over drugs. So how come them and dying and killing out each other at that rate? Or not, at least it's not published that they're doing that. Because it's happening. Italian mafia exists for a reason. Russian mafia exists for a reason. All of that. We know black people learn to do them things. Learn to do heinous crimes and cut up each other and pour plastic and wrap up each other and all that.
Yeah.
Under the same people who have the power to teach you how to do things. Where you learn to be a homosexual and all of that. All through the TV, all of that. Who does broadcast that? Black people have the rights to that? Where you learning all that from? Why it is you want to blame black people? Understand what's going on? We in a cesspit. We in a walking cesspit. That is what's going on. All we mind. Everywhere we live. Because that is what the suppressor and the people who rule over us pushing. The only way to get out of that is come back to daddy house. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commandant General Yana. No other way. I hear.
Yeah, it's no other way. And what's going on in Tobago right now with Fairleigh Augustine and Watson you. All of come back together.
Correct.
All these black people, all these black brothers. Don't let the rich and them and make all us separate. All of come back together. Find some way, talk to each other as brothers. You understand? If the black people who are wrong Watson you and who are wrong Fairleigh Augustine, all of make them come back together.
So like
and this is why we just say don't vote.
That's right.
Why we just always tell people don't vote. Voting ain't have a damn thing to do with black people.
Right. So like
voting is just separate black people. You understand? Yet as well,
it's very important that they do this. seek Commandant General Hannah. It have generals and them to show all, you understand? Nobody had to know all that. All they would give the Most High he praise and pay all the tithes, you understand, and put donation in the Israelite school and universal practical knowledge. If all they want to know how to operate as proper leaders and all they want to do things and all they're afraid to do it on the main page, you okay. Call in the number to the school 2905173 and let them put you on that general, you understand, who know how to operate a city and how to do this and how to do that. And how to use all the political influence and power to help black people and help each other and stop separating and killing out each other at that level. When all they have the ability to do so, go and seek proper counsel. That is where you'll find it in the Israelite School or Universal Practical Knowledge. Read okay. 2905173. Call the number. All they pass it on to them. Let them stop play dolly house and who are really interested in helping black people, come and find out how to do it.
Yeah. Again, they why we just say black people don't vote. You could imagine, you know what's going on with Fairleigh Augustine and Watson Duke? The rich saw that, hey, if we allow Watson Duke and Fairleigh to be brothers, the other black youths could see them as elders or father figures and follow the brotherly love. There ain't going to be no more crime. So the rich get between Watson Duke and Fairleigh and break it up. They mash it up.
Correct.
And look what they had them doing, fighting in public. Not behind closed doors, no. They had them fighting in public. If all had to fight behind the doors. Don't let nobody see that. All right. Be how to say professionals to the youths.
Correct.
So when the youths watch all, you know when the youths watch the leaders, what did they say? Well, hey, if them could fight amongst each other, why we can't fight amongst each other?
Right.
You understand? And again, I don't blame Fairleigh and Watson Duke. Them don't know any better.
Correct.
That's why they voted in the first place. We in the ISUPK, we know not to vote. Christ is our king over we.
That's right.
You understand? And when before Christ returned, commanding General Hannah, he's the leader of the nation.
That's right.
He's the man who following the Bible.
Correct.
And giving us the proper guidance and how to be in life.
Right.
If you have an issue with it, brother, like what was going with Watson Duke and Fairleigh, if two of them have an issue with each other, they had to talk it out first.
Correct.
If Fairleigh say no, you wrong Watson Duke, or Watson Duke say no, you wrong Fairleigh, then them had to go and talk, bring some ally in.
Right.
And say, hey, help us resolve this issue now, boy.
Right.
But don't broaden it in public. That's what the Bible say. The Bible say if you have a problem or issue with your brother, like with Fairleigh Augustine and Watson, you gotta talk one-on-one. You know, probably for had just sit down personally and talk one-on-one. All I might have said, all right, you know, small thing, we go work it out. But if all us keep saying no, get an elder, somebody, you know, who more wiser, some elder, and bring them in and let them talk to all you and see if that elder could resolve the issue.
That's
Most
right.
of the times that has happened.
Correct.
That is what I was supposed to do. But because all don't know better, all doing it in public. When the youths and them see black people having an issue with one another, they say, well, all right, if them could do it, I could do it too. You understand? That is what's going on now.
So 9, 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, you understand, have all the way because the leaders in society don't have nothing together, so they can't tell them nothing. Them can't show them nothing. They don't have the experience, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, how to run nothing. So them decide I going to do what I want to do. Because we're always all alternative. We're all a plan for we. But all we to kill each other and all kind of madness. That is why we on the radio station to show all it have a different way. They have a better way. This society, the queen would not let you ever in life for 70 years that she was ruling on the throne. 70 years, not she was in existence, living in ruling as a monarchy. With all that power and money, don't want black people to understand one lick of wisdom, a brotherhood. You understand? A love, kindness, care, compassion. You understand? What to do, how to think, how to live, how to walk, how to operate, how to solve crime. You understand? How to break up them kind of madness and stay away and keep yourself out of that and keep yourself in a healthy mind state in the first place. That you ain't going to reach there. That you won't be embarrassing each other on public platforms and this madness. You'll operate, you understand, on a different level of respect. So people, the racists would not have that kind of shippiness to say about you. That is why they just talk so, because who it is going to stop me, who it is going to say different. Show me any different, what to respect, what I should see to respect they.
You understand? Like I hope Fairleigh Augustine and Watson Duke make back up. And when the youth see them make back up, them go say, them who was fighting with their brothers, the youths,
right?
Them go make back up too.
Correct.
You gotta look at all as leaders.
That's right.
But for years, our leaders in Trinidad failing we. We vote in PNM failing we. We vote in UNC. UNC feeling we vote all them political parties, they're feeling we. Now they vote the PDP in Tobago. Well, all I can't let the youths and them fail too. All I had to make up and show them that black people could come together, boy. All I had to show them that. You understand? But again, all they know no better because they follow no better, all they would not have voted. You understand? The Bible said don't vote. The only time people voted in the Bible was to murder Jesus Christ.
Correct.
That was the only time they voted in the Bible. You understand? When they say, yeah, kill Christ, everybody put up their hand, the majority put up their hand, yeah, kill Christ. That when they voted. You understand? What scripture you tell us? Give me the
Acts 31.
No, give me the next Isaiah is 13 or Isaiah 14 and 1.
Yeah. Come. Right.
You understand? Let us celebrate the death of the queen. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
That's right.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Let me be happy. You understand? We could breathe a little easier. I ain't saying we could breathe fully easier, you know. Because somebody go take back the throne. But we could breathe a little easier, boy. She was here when we get independence in 1962. She could have changed things and helped ease black people's oppression. The queen did none of that. And Nicole, I want to talk about that she foreparents. What did that to me? Nah. The Queen Elizabeth II have a part to play in it. She could have told us our history and identity as black people. She could have said, okay, black people, because of my foreparents murdered all you, killed all you, rape all you, lynch all you, forced away all the history and all the identity, and forced all you to speak English. Because my foreparents did to that, here every black person hold at $3 million or $5 million in their bank account. The Queen don't do that. The Queen run along with it. You understand? So we have to be glad that Queen Elizabeth II died. We should rejoice. Just want to see that call here.
Yeah, can no sir. Right.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. As regard to celebrating, we have to do very limited at that because the sun is already there, sending his signals and all his little codes, words to the people, his people out there, that he's going to continue just what the mother did. They can't help themselves. That's right. That's their nature.
They
come from a heritage and a lineage of people who murder and plunder and kill.
Right.
That's the only thing that they know. You
Correct. Sister, if I may, I fully hear what you're saying in a mature way. Why you're saying in a sense to do very little at the rejoicing, but at the same time, the only thing for black people to see, you understand, that this is something right, is if we rejoice. If we say, you understand, when the wicked dead, well, that is the bandit then. You understand? That is the murderer. Point them out. That's what the scripture is saying. Point them out so that they can at least see that, yes, this right. You understand? This person supposed to die a long time. So that at least, you understand, from a basic instinct, they could say, all right. They could feel, you understand, it right mentally to accept that these people doing more what they're doing, what I seen in front of my face. And now they could sort of come back to the people and them. Stop, you understand, like the first caller. You're tiptoeing, dancing wrong, and you ain't want to put the blame where blame's supposed to be. Put the blame where blame's supposed to be, and let we come together and come and how to come out of all the influence and all the nonsense because we under them learning the shippiness. That is the only reason come like what you call Stockholm syndrome. The people beating you and raping you and all kind of thing, and you're loving them up. No. Just because you can get bread by them. No, come out of that. But they're dead.
Celebrate, but don't think the fight is over.
Nah, the fight far from it. We now start. If we start at all. We now start.
Thank you. Thank you also.
Yeah. Definitely, no problem. Thank you for calling in.
We can't fear to celebrate the death of the Queen.
Correct.
We can't fear that. That is one step closer to our salvation.
Correct.
The Queen's death is one step closer to black people's salvation. And we need to celebrate it. You understand? Like we should be partying all now.
Correct.
Like a whole month of partying.
Right.
That's what we should be doing.
Correct.
Of the Queen's death. It is one step closer. You understand? Yeah, I think I say I'm seeing.
Yeah, the Isaiah 14 real quick.
Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Israel, which is Israel. You understand? That your forefather name. You go have mercy on your forefathers and you cheering on them. Right? And well, you choose Israel. Again, the descendants of who we come from. We 12 forefathers, 12 tribes. Hispanic, Native, Indian, black people. You understand? And set them in their own land. We go have our own land, not where they Middle East where everybody dancing up in it and doing all madness. And that's homosexual activity in the land of Israel today. You don't clear out all of that so black people will get back a place, you understand? To call home, where you go be clean. You follow? And really and truly set up righteousness on the earth again. Yeah? And strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. But here what they're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. For servants and handmaids, just as we are servants to the queen and the Commonwealth and all these different things, they will be now servants to the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? I'll let you into Black Watch Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, calling to the number in Trinidad, 2905173. Thanks again for coming through. Monday again, lot of love next week. All right?
You're right. And again, just to reiterate, the school's number is 2905173. You can type in ISUPK. We're on TikTok, ISUPK Trinidad.
That's
on
right.
TikTok,
Instagram.
ISUPK Trinidad, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And you all could follow us there.
Right.
You understand? Again, right now, let us celebrate the death of the Queen.
That's right.
You understand? A little ease of our oppression is done.
Correct.
So the caller who's saying before the Queen didn't cause black on black crime, once you're under oppression, there is and will always be black on black crime.
That's right.
Because every black person right now is under oppression in Trinidad. You understand? So
Correct.
there will be always black on black crime.
Right.
And the death of the Queen, take a little ease off it. Just a little.
We are the